everyone, and welcome to a new month of Moody Talks. New month, new talks, new topic. So what are we going to talk about this month? Well, we are going to branch out and we're going to tackle mindfulness. And now this is a specific kind of mindfulness, and it's not just the generalized mindfulness that we may know, like, for yoga, doing meditation and all that kind of thing. This is specific to DBT, which is a therapy that we use to cope with our emotions and to build a toolbox to better cope in situations that may be distressful, or, relationships that we may need to, learn to communicate better in. So what is mindfulness and why do we want to use it? Why do we want to? We want to practice mindfulness because it helps to reduce suffering and increase happiness. That's always nice, right? It helps to increase control of your own mind, and it helps to experience reality as it is. So what does that mean, right? Like, that sounds a little like crazy, right? Of course, we're in control of our own mind, right? What does that mean? To reduce suffering, that kind of thing. Well, it's again, it's all about building that toolbox that you can have these skill sets available to you. Now, what is mindfulness? How do we practice it? There are lots of different things that we can do. Again, it's not just the meditation. It's learning to be mindful of the moment that you're in. And we can do that in a bunch of different ways. I love to go for a walk every day, and it's at least an hour. And what I do is I listen to audiobooks, and specifically audiobooks about history, because when the person's reading it, it's kind of this, it's not monotone, but it's got this kind of like pace and this melodic kind of pace, and it kind of puts me into a good space. And what do I do while I'm walking? Well, I'm observing, I'm looking around, I'm checking out what's around me, the trees, and if they're in bloom, flowers. I see a dog on the street, I notice that, I observe, and I get into the moment that I am currently in, right? You can also do it with music, where you're listening to music and you're paying special attention to each instrument. Maybe you can pull out each instrument and listen to it on its own as you're listening, or taking in the lyrics and not really making a judgment about those lyrics, just listening to them and being with them, not, trying to make heads or tail of what the singer is talking about, that kind of thing, just listening to his voice or her voice and being in the moment with that song. Okay. There's also lots of other ways, and I'm planning on telling you so many more throughout the month. So let's get into what mindfulness is. Okay. Mindfulness is intentionally living with awareness in the present moment. Okay. So that's the here and now. So that's intentionally living in the moment. So you are focusing on what is happening in the moment. You're going to hear me say that a lot, in the moment, right? So it's also without judging or rejecting the moment. So that's really, really important. This is the way that we can step back and we can take in what's happening, what we're feeling, what may be happening with other people, what's going on around. Like right now, my cats are walking around me and chasing each other. And, I am noticing that. I am noticing what is going on around me, and I'm not judging it. I'm not judging how I feel in the moment. I'm not rejecting how I feel in the moment, and I'm sitting with it. And then without attachment to the moment. This is taking the emotion out of it. Okay, so it's just, it's like a tool that I talk a lot about all the time, checking the facts. You are looking at it outside of you are coming out of the whole situation, and you're looking at it without you're attaching your own emotion to it, your own feeling to it. And again, non-judgmentally and not rejecting. Okay, so that's the basics of mindfulness. And we're going to learn some skills this month. We're going to talk about wise mind. So wise mind is the middle path, let's say. So wise mind is like, picture some circles here. There's, reason mind, okay? And then there's emotion mind. And reason mind is, 100% nothing but exactly what's happening in that moment. Using reason in the sense of what exactly should happen with what's happening now. What should I be doing in this situation? And emotion mind is the exact opposite, where you're just feeling your emotions and that's all you can feel. It's all you can do. It's all encompassing. Your feelings just are getting the best of you, and that's all you can handle in the moment. So you take those two circles and you put them together, you intersect them a bit. There's wise mind in the middle. And I'll show you the graph. I'll show you all that when we talk about wise mind. But there's also there's doing and being in wise mind. And it's pretty much the same as you would think with reason and emotion mind. It's doing the opposites. Like doing is, making a plan, putting something in motion without, the other part of it being like you can't do anything but be in that moment. So you can intersect them, and the middle path is wise mind. We'll talk more about that, but I hope I've got you, hooked a bit, because it's a really interesting concept and it's really helped me a lot. So we'll be using the what skill, and that is observing, describing, and participating in that moment. And we'll also be talking about the how skill, which is non-judgmental, one mindfully and effectively. I know this all sounds like gibberish right now, but I promise you to stay with me on these, because the thing about mindfulness, it's like the very first topic you want to talk about when you're building a toolbox for your emotions, for coping skills. We're going to get into later, down the road, we're going to get into topics such as distress tolerance, interpersonal communication, those kind of things. So we're going to talk about those things, and having the mindfulness down pat, the skills that you can use to get into the moment, non-judgmentally, not rejecting, observing, doing all the things that we can do to get the entire picture of the situation we're in. If we can get those skills down, it helps moving into these other topics like distress tolerance and building more tools that we can put in that box to help us to better cope with our emotions. So I hope this has helped. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in DMs or, comment underneath the video, because that will help me to better understand what you guys want to hear about mindfulness and about, mindfulness in the current emotion you're in. So have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.